The National Association of Nigerian Licensed Custom Agents (ANLCA) has suspended Taiwo Mustapha, Prince Taye Oyeniyi, Mr. Adumaza Joe Sani, and Chief Dennis Okafor for participating in anti-association activity. While addressing journalists in ANLCA's National Secretariat in Lagos, National Vice President Kayode Farrington says the suspension was necessary after a directive from the National President Tony Junwa Bonike to investigate and carry out disciplinary action in accordance with the association's constitution on erring members. Farrington says all suspended members were invited by the disciplinary committee to explain why disciplinary action should not be taken against them, but all failed to appear, hence the decision of the panel.
Adumazu Josoni, Prince Taye Oyeniyi, Alhaji Mustapha, and Chief Dennis Okafor. I will take my time to read our reports so that you know that we have done due diligence. The National Disciplinary Committee, headed by the National Vice President, Dr. Kayode Farrington Collins, exercising his powers inherent in Section 7(2)(c) of the Supreme Constitution, ANLCA 2013, summoned the aforementioned members of the association to explain why disciplinary action would not be taken against them for misconduct, which was clearly stated in the letter of invitation. The National President, on the 16th day of December 2020, directed the National Disciplinary Committee of ANLCA with the National Vice President as the chairman to investigate the misconduct of some members. Other members of the committee are Alhaji Oyekola Lateef Aderemi, who is a member, Barrister Uchuku, VSA, as the secretary. Then the scope of the committee responsibility is to summon Adumazu Joe Sani. He is the chairman of Multimodal Logistics Limited, Prince Taye Oyeniyi, McMary Nigeria Limited, Chief Dennis Okafor, Denka Services Limited, and Alhaji Mustapha Taiwo, Pyramid Associates Limited, and bring before them allegation of gross misconduct leveled against them and ascertain whether they run foul of any rule and recommend sanction if necessary. The committee sat on the 21st of December 2020, 15th of January 2021, and the 4th of February 2021, and deliberated on the assignment, investigative activities of the National Disciplinary Committee as it concerned Adumaza Joe Sani. The committee sat on the 21st of December 2020, in which the terms of reference of the committee came to the front burner. A letter was written and dispatched to Adumaza Joe Sani to explain in writing why disciplinary action will not be taken against him for one or all of the following infringements. 1. Unauthorized publication, press releases, and announcement as it concerns ANLCA. 2. Wrong and deliberate misrepresentation of court judgment, ruling, and orders as it concerns ANLCA with intention to ridicule the association and reduce her in the eyes of reasonable members of the public. 3. Deliberate character assassination, use of abusive and derogative word and moral mudslinging of the persons of the National President of ANLCA, NECOM members, and other stakeholders of the association, among other infringements, contrary to the Supreme Constitution of ANLCA. Unfortunately, Adumaza Joe Sani did not respond to the allegation and prompted the committee to write another letter demanding that Joe Sani should appear before the committee on Monday, 18 February 2021 at ANLCA boardroom, National Secretariat, Diko in the House, by 11 a.m. to show why disciplinary action would not be taken against him. The committee advised him to strictly adhere to this directive, as failure to appear before the committee may warrant the committee to go ahead and decide the matter in his absence. Adumaza Joe Sani defense and response. Mr. Sani refused to appear before the committee, but he chose to respond informally. The committee, after objectively examining the allegation against Adumaza Joe Sani, hereby recommend to NEC for immediate suspension of Joe Sani from the association. 2. Investigative activity of the National Disciplinary Committee as it concerned Taiwo Mustapha is the MD Pyramid Associates Limited. The committee sat on the 15th of January 2020, in which the terms of reference of the committee came to the front burner. A letter was written and dispatched to Taiwo Mustapha to explain in writing why disciplinary action will not be taken against him for one or all of the following infringements. 1. Refusal to abide by the court judgment of suit, which confirmed that he is not a registered trustee of BOT of ANLCA, much less the chairman of the BOT. 2. Appointment of parallel electoral officers with the intention of causing them to conduct kangaroo election or selection of the Western chapter with intention to cause confusion and divide the association. 3. Usurping the powers of the national president by acting as one of the administering of oath of office to those selected in the kangaroo election. The committee considered the allegation against him and found him guilty and unanimously recommend for sanction. 4. Investigative activities of the National Disciplinary Committee as it concerns Prince Taye Oyeniyi, who is the MD McMary Nigeria Limited. The committee sat on the 15th of January 2020, in which the terms of reference of the committee came to the front burner. A letter was written and dispatched to Prince Taye Oyeniyi to explain in writing why disciplinary action will not be taken against him for one or all of the following. 1. For surreptitiously taking the association to court, received the summon on behalf of the association and went ahead to appoint defense counsel, thereby deceitfully being the plaintiff and the defendant at the same time. For illegally collecting from Form 48 and 49 on 2 occasions, seeking to commute the national president and some NECOM members to prison. 3. For continuously deceiving the public with lies and continue to act as a member of the Board of Trustees when his tenure has expired, thereby arrogating power he never had to himself. 4. For colluding with Mustapha to conduct illegal selection and administering oath of office to those selected. It is our finding that Prince Taye Oyeniyi has been causing trouble in ANLCA since the past 30 years, and it is high time disciplinary action is taken against him. Our recommendation. In line with the Supreme Constitution of ANLCA, Section 7C, this has been carefully looked into and finds the attitude of Taye Oyeniyi totally unacceptable. His case is unimaginably as no one has caused ANLCA more pains like Prince Taye Oyeniyi. Consequently, we recommend that Taye Oyeniyi should be suspended from the association. Investigative activities on the National Disciplinary Committee as it concerns Chief Dennis Okafor, Denka Services. The committee sat on the 15th of January 2020, in which the terms of reference of the committee came to the front burner. And we invited him to come and explain why disciplinary action should not be taken against him for one or all of the following. For continuously deceiving the public with lies and continues to act as a member of the Board of Trustees when his tenure has expired, thereby arrogating powers he never had to himself. For colluding with Mustapha to conduct illegal selection and administering oath of office to those so selected. Unfortunately, Chief Dennis Okafor did not respond to the allegation, and that prompted the committee to write another letter demanding that Dennis Okafor should appear before the committee on the 8th of February 2020 at ANLCA boardroom. The committee members were in the boardroom on the scheduled time and date. Unfortunately, Chief Dennis Okafor did not show up the second time. He did not send any message either. Our findings. The committee, in the course of their investigation, discovered that Dennis Okafor is no longer interested in the progress and well-being of the association. Instead of answering the call, he was busy colluding with Mustapha and Taye Oyeniyi, organizing nocturnal meetings and engaging in acts capable of dividing the association. And in line with action, this has been carefully looked into and found the attitude of Dennis Okafor totally reprehensible and unacceptable. His conduct, to say the least, is unprofessional and amount to gross misconduct and lack of respect to the Constitution of ANLCA 2023. Consequently, we recommend that Chief Dennis Okafor should be suspended from the association.
National Secretary Mukaila Abdulaziz says the suspended members have the right to appeal their suspension to the National Executive Council of the association if they are not comfortable with the decision.
The so suspended members still have a step further to take if they are dissatisfied. I'm going to be reading some relevant section of the Constitution. Section 24, under discipline, Section 24, subsection 8, states, and I will read, any person who is not satisfied with the decision of the disciplinary committee at the chapter level shall have the right to appeal to the National Executive Council, whose decision on any matter shall be final. For example, that of Tope Akindele, if he felt is not satisfied, he can still write for NECOM to look into the case for him. The same thing goes for Tayo Oyeniyi. If they are not satisfied, they can only take their matter to NEC, the National Executive Council,